Talking Movies. Good morning. Of course, I have Swank, Blake, and Luke with me today. Let's go around the room. Luke, you want to go first? Last movie you saw?
Well, I saw quite a few since last time I was here. Saw two that are kind of comparable. One's Vera Fleming's from Up in the Air. Her directorial debut called Higher Ground. Just about a woman who kind of is in this very religious household, and but she never quite feels the calling. A little bit about just, it's a really thoughtful film about faith in a non, like, pretty middle of the ground, doesn't make fun, it's not pro or against, just kind of this lady's life. Really thoughtful, kind of relatable a little bit. And then Life of Pi, saw that in 3D, pretty extravagant, amazing. Really big ideas in that one. Recommend it if you can. It is PG, but I wouldn't recommend anyone over 10 to go see it. And then Killing Them Softly, another great movie, one of my favorite of the year so far. It's a little dirty movie. Low lives, con men, killers, and post-Katrina New Orleans. Just a really good crime drama, reminds me of something from the 70s. Really great dialogue. I think it kind of proves that Brad Pitt can't do no wrong right now, or has been on a hot streak lately. And then I saw Flight yesterday, and that was pretty good too. Robert Zemeckis, again, another great movie.
Denzel, right?
Yeah, Denzel, great performance.
He's really intense in it.
No, he actually isn't. He's not like the most likable person in a way, but you root for him at the same time at times. But it's more about responsibility and addiction than the plane crash. But the plane crash is pretty intense too in the movie. If anyone has like a slight fear of flying, it's pretty great. But no, I recommend all those movies: Higher Ground, Life of Pi, Killing Them Softly, and Flight. Just really recommend any of those. I know I saw a few others, but that's the ones that stick out in my head right now.
The last movie I watched was this documentary called The Imposter, and it's about this family in the 90s whose son goes missing in San Antonio, Texas, and they look for years and they can't find him, and then all of a sudden a young man in Spain comes out and says, "Hey, I'm your son." And so they go get him, and as the kid lives with them, pieces slowly start to fall in place that they realize that this is not their son. And it's just this fascinating story about this guy from France who makes a living off of disguising himself as people and being in their lives. And I mean, it was kind of intense. They actually shot it like a real movie, they shot like a movie at times. So they acted out scenes as people were talking about them.
Is it a foreign film?
No, it's from the U.S., but I highly recommend it. I thought it was great. You could have gone more into detail about the story and some other things, but very, very well done, very well shot documentary that will leave you kind of shaking a little bit. It's kind of, it's kind of a freaky.
The trailer just freaked me out.
Yeah, it's really good. I like it a lot.
Just one?
Yeah, just one.
I saw a couple movies lately. I watched Lawless, which is John Hillcoat's third movie, written by Nick Cave. Nick Cave does the soundtrack as well. I feel like it's about three brothers in the Prohibition era who are bootleggers, and a cop from Chicago's on their trail. Guy Pearce. I thought Guy Pearce was really awesome in it.
I mean, I like him in it.
I really like Guy Pearce, and he's got the whole like slick and parted hair and like blotchy skin.
He's a slime ball in that.
Oh yeah, he's intense in that movie. I don't know. I would recommend it. I enjoyed it. I haven't liked anything as much as The Proposition. I mean, John Hillcoat I think started out with The Proposition,
Yeah,
and then
high.
you know The Road was alright, and this one was alright. I mean, I like the actors in it, and I'm a true believer that Shia LaBeouf, he can be a decent actor if he's put in a decent movie.
I'd agree.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I would recommend it. I don't know if I like the, because you two have seen it, right?
Yeah, I see it.
I don't know if I really enjoy the music with singing in it. I don't know, like the soul singing and stuff like that. I don't know. It just that kind of took me out of it. The montages or whatever.
Yeah.
Some of the music cues or whatever, but.
I actually felt that the three brothers were, the way they were acting, they're in a different movie. Like, I feel like Lawless could have been like a really like dark, funny movie, and Tom Hardy is so serious. He's brooding the entire time, and it felt like he was in the wrong movie, and kind of a terrible performance for me.
You didn't like that performance?
Nor Shia LaBeouf at all. I didn't. I thought Guy Pearce was like, the way he was portraying his character was the way the whole movie should have been. But,
I thought Shia LaBeouf played the younger brother really well.
yeah.
And
Jessica Chastain's really good in it too.
arrogant and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then I watched a documentary called Craigslist Joe, which it covers this guy who he met on Craigslist to videotape his adventure. But 31 days, he gets a brand new cell phone, and he doesn't contact his friends or his family or anything like that. He just goes through Craigslist on his smartphone or whatever to catch rides like across the United States. I would recommend that too. It's pretty interesting. Just covers 31 days living off of just entirely Craigslist. I would recommend that too.
Interesting. That reminded me of a documentary that I know it's not out. It's probably still in the making of, but there's probably like a year or two ago, this lady was terminally ill, and she decided just to, she wasn't terminally ill. She has like agoraphobia, or she doesn't like to leave her home. And one day she just decided she was going to do it, and she went and visited like 500 different Facebook friends, like all over the world. Like her and her son just like got in their car and drove and flew, and they documented a lot of it just, like on a regular camcorder. And I know they're making a documentary right now, so I don't have no idea what it's called, but I'm sure we'll hear about it when it comes out. It sounds like an interesting story.
Yeah,
I've seen
absolutely.
some video clips from it, and it's just, kind of her coming out of that shell, and, anyway. Moving on, I've been on kind of a roll lately. I've seen 4 movies in the last 5 days, so I'm just going to go down and give them some school-esque grades, if you will. Hope Springs, Meryl Streep, Tommy Lee Jones, married couple having some sexual issues. Steve Carell is their therapist. I'm going to give it a solid B. Kind of creeped me out a little bit. That's why it's on a B+. But still, Meryl Streep,
Meryl Streep attempted to give a blowjob might have been worth the price of watching that movie.
Spoiler alert. But anyway. It was good. Speaking of music that takes away, the music in that movie is terrible. That's maybe also why the grade's a little bit lower than it should have been. But anyway. Then I watched Moonrise Kingdom. The first 15 minutes I thought, this is way too quirky for its own good. And then they kind of have the flashback to the year before, and you kind of figure out what's going on, and then it just starts, and it was pretty awesome for me. I thought it kind of lagged a little bit towards the end. It seemed a little longer than it was, but I was thoroughly impressed, and Wes Anderson does such a great job of just painting such a beautiful scene, and where they're, the region that they're at, they really did a good job, I think, respecting that and whatnot. So I thought it was pretty good. Little on the strange side, so I'm going to give it a B+. But, yeah, pretty good. And then the next night I watched Cyrus. Duplass Brothers, right? Only the second Duplass Brothers movie I've seen, but I'm intrigued to watch more. I thought it was really good. Of course, what's her name? Marissa Tomei is going to keep me interested for quite a while. But anyway, Jonah Hill just kind of creeped me out the entire movie, and again, the one small complaint I'm gonna have in him, because I'm gonna give it a B+, is sometimes their camera angles are just a little I don't know, like wonky or just it's just weird. I like to get really tight in people's faces, and that's
Or
They
zoom up.
in.
yeah,
really good.
yeah, and you know, it's kind of like a learning curve. You know, it starts out really weird, and I think they kind of draw back as the movie. Maybe that's part of their process as the movie goes on, but right away you get a really good picture of who these people are. And I love John C. Reilly, but he is not a prima man.
Yeah, those camera tricks they use in every one of their movies. I think it's just it's very much their shtick.
Yeah, you know it's one of their movies definitely. But yeah, I was impressed. You know, I kind of like how their movies. It's like I feel like all their characters in the movies are just like people in their lives that they're probably just writing about, and you don't really know what's wrong with them the entire movie. And I've only seen this one, Cyrus and Jeff Who Lives at Home. So, but I just kind of like how they leave it up to you to decide. You know, their level of instability or creepiness, whatever you want to call it. And then finally I watched Girl in the Cafe, 2005, Bill Nighy and Kelly MacDonald, I think.
Yeah, Kelly.
Written by Richard Curtis, who's, you know, a lot of British stuff, Love Actually, Notting Hill, Vicar Dibley series, wrote the screenplay for both Bridget Jones movies. Really good, super slow and dialogue heavy, but I was just intrigued the whole time. So I'm not a huge like dialogue heavy movie fan, but it's really good. It's kind of you think the story's going to be a little bit bigger than it actually is. But it's kind of like a soft storyline, but it's just really about these two just spending time together. It's really interesting. Coincidentally, it's actually Bill Nighy's birthday today. I was just looking at him on IMDb. So happy birthday. He's only 63. But anyway, he looks older. But anyway, I'm going to give that movie an A-.
Okay.
Very, very impressed. Richard Curtis, I guess, again, he's just a very good writer.
Did he direct it too?
I think so. Yeah, I think he wrote and directed this one. Yeah, between him and Andrew Davies, I think my wife has not watched a movie besides maybe Bridesmaids written by anybody else. So she owes a lot of her adult life to those two people. But anyway, moving on. We've seen a lot of movies. That's what happens when we take a week break. Darn Christmas season. Last time we talked about Leonardo DiCaprio versus Russell Crowe. In keeping in that theme, the battles are going to continue. Maybe we can have like a tournament of actors or something. We're gonna hit you hard with some ladies today. Cate versus Cate, the Titanic damsel versus Elizabeth. So Cate Blanchett versus Kate Winslet. Winslet?
Yeah.
Couple pasty British gals.
Well, actually, Kate's Australian.
Oh, yes. Pasty nonetheless. But anyway.
She's very fair skinned.
Should we start with Kate Winslet? And we don't have to talk about Titanic. Should I mention, last time we talked about Leonardo DiCaprio, we neglected to talk about Titanic. I don't know if that was on purpose.
No, I don't think we neglected.
We just didn't talk about it.
Didn't
So there.
out. Yeah.
We talked about Titanic already today, so now we don't need to talk about it. But anyway, Kate Winslet, what do you think?
I think she's a pretty stellar actress. I mean, probably one of the best right now. You know, she started off with a lot of period pieces.
Most British actresses do.
Yeah, and she got her big movie break in Peter Jackson's Heavenly Creatures, which is a very bizarre murder mystery movie, or murder story. We recommend it. It's very bizarre, but it's pretty good.
True story.
Yeah. And what else? And then she did like some period pieces in Eternal Sunshine, Spotless Mind.
Oh,
and then her career really changed. And then Little Children, I think, is one of my favorite roles of her.
Me too. Yeah.
It's a role I don't think a lot of women get a chance to do, of a woman that not quite wanting to be a mother, or kind of more just bored being a mom. It was the first time I ever saw someone like that in a movie.
Yeah, it's not a role you see in movies.
Yeah.
It's
kind of almost a taboo. It's the first time I ever saw that, and I mean, I love that movie regardless. Great script and everything. And then everything. I wasn't a big fan of The Reader, though. But everything else she's been in, I don't know when she's coming out soon, but she's just great. I haven't seen Contagion yet either, but yeah, Kate Winslet, yeah, she's You know, I was a little nervous for her being in such a big movie like Titanic. You know, you don't know if they're gonna, you know, have good success after that. But yeah, she's just a really great career. Revolutionary Road, another great.
Yeah, I was just gonna say her and Lilo have done just fine. After
Yeah.
and Revolutionary Road. Wow, that movie. She sure packs a punch in that movie.
She does seem a little more selective of projects than Kate. Kate seems a little more, you know, I'll kind of do this for whatever reason, you know. Like, not every movie that Kate's in is good, but Winslet seems a little more, or Blanchett I meant. Sorry. Kate with a C and Kate with a K. But no, it seems Blanchett's a little more, she'll kind of pick whatever. She's a little more adventurous, I would say. And Kate, or Miss Winslet, is a little more, well, a little more selective.
Yes.
In my regard, but both fantastic actresses.
Blake, how do you feel about Cate Blanchett?
I'm not a huge fan of hers. I respect her talent. She's great. I don't know. Luke named ones I like. Revolutionary Road, she's really good in. She's okay in Carnage. I think she overacts a little bit in that. Yeah, Little Children. I love Little Children.
Yeah.
Crazy
movie.
Todd Field, I think, directed that and wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's so good in that. I mean, everyone's great in that movie, but she kind of stands out. What else has she done? I never saw.
Quills, Eternal Sunshine.
She's good in Eternal Sunshine. I think she got a Best Actress nomination for that
Finding
too.
Neverland.
For Eternal Sunshine?
Yeah.
Wow.
She's great in Finding Neverland too.
Yeah, it's a nice
one of the
little
few giant debt movies I can stand. Yeah, I think she's good. She was married to Sam Mendes for a while, and
That just ended, right?
That just-
last
I don't
couple
remember.
years.
But yeah, I like her. I think I like Cate Blanchett a little bit more. I think I like her filmography a little bit more.
I'll agree with that too, but I'll get back to that one.
Yeah, once we get to Kate.
We'll hit Kate with the C in a minute here. What do you got, Swank?
Luke and Blake have said basically everything that I would agree with, for sure. I don't know what more I can say. Although I do like Titanic. I will recommend Titanic to anybody.
If you haven't seen Titanic yet,
You should see it.
I have not seen it.
if you were born yesterday.
But anyway, Kate Blake said he's not necessarily a huge fan of hers, and I don't think I was either. I have not seen Titanic, but the couple things that really turned me on to her was she was in the very first episode of that show Extras.
Oh, I was just
And
thinking
she
that
was
too.
just hilarious. I mean, she was really like self-deprecating, but yeah, it was awesome. And she's just foul mouth, and it was just that show was so good for the actors that
cameos that
starred in it. Yeah, I mean Ben Stiller too. That's another subject, but that was awesome. And I don't like that guy at all. But anyway, yeah, that really turned me on to her as being a good actress. Quills is another good movie. It's kind of a darkly weird, poetic movie, but it's pretty good. It's a little on the slow side, but it's definitely an interesting story. And then yeah, certainly Little Children. Love that movie. And Carnage, I know you said you're not a huge fan of her in that, but I think that movie's phenomenal.
I think the movie's really good. I
think it's a perfect role for her.
I think she's the weakest link in that movie for me.
She plays it well. She plays that type of character
Must
well.
be.
Yeah.
I think I'm alone in this, aren't I?
I don't know. I was thinking that she's almost kind of the same but not really type of person in Little Children as she is in that movie. Just, where the husband's kind of overbearing or whatever, or not necessarily interested in anything but his work or
Was on the side.
Who's her husband in Little Children?
Christopher. Oh, Little Children?
Yeah.
You only see him for like 3 scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not
3 unfortunate.
Patrick Wilson's the one who's...
Yeah, the one
okay.
she's
Yeah.
after.
Yeah.
Yep, okay. And then Jennifer Connelly
Is his wife.
Gotcha, okay.
You Little Children, guys. Tom Peretti.
Yeah, Little Children.
Little
Carnage,
Children, if you
Eternal
have not-
Sunshine. Those are definitely some solid movies of hers.
Little Children, Titanic.
Eternal Sunshine.
Eternal Sunshine.
And there was an HBO miniseries called Mildred Pierce. If you like period pieces, I just recommend it. It's really, really great. About a woman who's kind of left alone in the 30s, gets successful at a pie making, becomes like this really independent woman, and then she, like most great literary careers, she meets the wrong guy, and she has a really awful daughter. But I recommend it. I wasn't quite happy with the ending, but it makes sense. But yeah, I recommend it if you like a good period piece, very Americana. Todd Hayes directed that, who also did I'm Not There and Far From Heaven. One of my favorite directors too. But
Sweet.
Yeah, and Cate is just phenomenal in it. She's about every scene of a 5-hour, 6-hour movie. So.
Okay, moving on to Cate Blanchett. I wrote down just a handful of movies that I've seen her in. One not really good movie that I saw her in that I was really interested was The Good German. I think it was kind of tried to be like filmed in the vein of like Sin City type of thing, and it just.
I think it was more like Casablanca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just I don't know. It's just such a great idea, and I just don't pick it.
It's an experiment that I don't think fully works.
No, it just didn't deliver like it wanted to. Oscar and Lucinda is another just kind of off the wall one with her and one of the Fiennes brothers, Voldemort, I think it is. But anyway, just a kind of kooky little story about two people, a little bit on the crazy side. Elizabeth, I guess for me, is the big one. Powerful
Yeah.
I
movie.
still haven't seen that yet.
I haven't seen any of the Elizabeth movies.
Yeah, because there's that, and then there's the Golden Age. The Golden Age, I don't think it's as good as the first one, but yeah, the first Elizabeth is phenomenal. She kind of had a bit role in a movie called The Shipping News. She plays
I never saw that.
the
Never saw that
mother.
either.
Really good movie, not a happy film, but really good movie. Just set in Newfoundland, just kind of a depressing family type of story. Not that that's gonna make you want to watch it by any means, but definitely a good movie. A couple other movies that I thought I really liked her in, but weren't necessarily good movies, were Bandits and The Missing. For some reason, I was like extremely excited to see that movie, The Missing. So
I was too.
It just let me down. It just looked so awesome, and then it just.
I think it just drags.
Yeah.
I've never seen that movie. I just never had any.
It's great seeing Ron Howard do it in a really violent western where people are getting dismembered but it just drags on forever. It seems. I don't even think the movie's 2 hours. The movie might be 2 hours.
I think it is 2 hours.
It just drags. It's unfortunate too. I was looking forward to it as well. I like Bandits as well. I think Bandits is
I like that movie.
Bandits is fun.
Well, it goes back to like that movie, and goes back to what Lucas talked about, how Blanchett she'll
dabble in mainstream if she needs
to. If she wants to, or she'll be the villain in Indiana Jones.
I actually liked her in Indiana Jones. I liked her look.
Me too. But Kate Winslet would never play.
No.
If somebody called her and said, "Hey, do you want to play the bad guy in Indiana Jones?" She would say,
She doesn't.
"No."
I don't think she just looks too much like a goody girl. I think Kate Winslet does. Something like that. That's kind of why I like Cate Blanchett. I think she's a little more versatile. I'm not saying she's Tom Hanks, but I think she could fall into different roles better. You know, like, I mean, you don't even recognize her in that movie, The Shipping News. Same thing with Bandits. It's just like, who is that? Because, you know, she'll dye her hair and she'll do different things, and, you know, she shave her head for a movie too.
That head's been through a lot.
Yeah. And Heaven, and she also speaks really good Italian in it too. She also speaks Elvish in Lord of the Rings. And then she has a really great Southern accent in The Gift. I really like Cate Blanchett. I know it was a movie not everyone loved, but Hannah. I thought she was really good in it.
Yeah, she's good in that.
I think to me, like, her best movies are like Notes of a Scandal. It's just this little sour tart of a movie.
I did not like that movie.
Bill Nighy's in that movie too.
Yeah, Bill Nighy. And then Little Fish. It's this Australian movie with Sam Neill in it. Or no, Hugo Weaving. And it's really, really great. Just about this woman who's an addict and just trying to get her life back on track in Sydney. Or no, Melbourne, I believe. And then, and of course she plays a Bob Dylan-esque character in I'm Not There. And she was really great in that. And then she played Katharine Hepburn in The Aviator. And The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. I know it's a nice little role. I mean, that's really a technical movie. But she holds her own in that one.
Life
But
Aquatic.
Oh, yeah.
Life Aquatic is one of my favorite Cate Blanchett performances. I think she has some great one-liners in that movie that she really nails down.
And I think what I like about makes both these actresses really good is that they actually look like real women, you know. Like, you know, Kate just looks like somebody who'd see, you know, shopping down at Pomegranate or Cate Blanchett or Kate Winslet, both of them. They just look like ladies you would see just walking down the street. And I think that's what makes them so accessible, but they also can just have this really great talent of minding other characters.
One of my favorite Cate Blanchett performances was a movie that wasn't that great, but she nailed it, I thought, was Veronica Guerin. Came out 9 or 10 years ago, and I think she plays an Irish reporter who takes on like organized crime. And she's really good in that.
Oh, she's good.
She's really good in that. And that's a forgotten movie that's kind of on the wayside. No Ton of Scandal is another one that I really, really enjoyed. I think she's fantastic in that. So along with Judi Dench, who's really good in it too.
Oh, and actually, that's a pretty brave role because you know she strikes up a relationship with like a 15-year-old student.
Yep.
Scandal.
Yeah. There's no time to.
Were both those ladies nominated?
I believe so.
Same year, probably.
I believe so.
But Kate Winslet is one.
One. Cate Blanchett's one just for supporting.
For what movie?
Aviator.
She won for that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Her. Yeah.
Yeah, she won for that. The most annoying person.
Yeah, she annoyed the hell out of me in The Aviator. But I mean, that was she did a great Katharine Hepburn, but I forgot she won the best supporting actress for that.
Another Cate Blanchett movie I wrote down, and I can't remember the hugeness of her role or how much she was in it, but The Man Who Cried, is it a French film maybe? Or set in France, it's her and Johnny Depp. Yeah, it's a good little movie, kind of like a slow, little dark tale, but just an interesting movie. Not a obviously mainstream Johnny Depp movie, but kind of like him in those smaller type of movies. I think he does that well.
Yeah, it was before the Pirates and
yeah, I mean it's a good 12 years old, I think, by now. But,
Babel is another one she's good in.
And then another thing about Kate, she was the
Kate
or Blanchett. I'm sorry.
This is his last name from now on, I think.
Blanchett. She was director of Sydney Opera or Playhouse for like a year or two. It's pretty, I guess, a high honor, I guess, in the Australian Actors Guild. Because there's a lot of great actors from Australia. Let's not get that wrong, but yeah, and Kate Winslet, yeah, she's fantastic too. So she does a lot of Saturdays. I know Shakespeare in the Parks in New York. I like when actors can do theater too.
So it would seem as a group we kind of lean a little bit 60% Blanchett maybe, as far as
I'd go with that.
versatility and willingness to change her hair. Both adorable ladies in my mind, I guess I'd say.
So Cate Blanchett moves into the next round.
Cate Blanchett moves on to face Russell Crowe. Do we decide?
We can decide who plays
Who are both in the same. They're in Robin Hood together.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh. I was trying to.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I fell asleep. So.
Trying to think if there's a movie that because she's been in a movie with Russell Crowe and Leonardo DiCaprio. So has Russell Crowe been in a movie with Kate Winslet?
Not yet.
I saw something on your phone just a little bit earlier. What is this movie 43? Every time I look at IMDb or I look at an actress, is everybody in this movie? What is this movie coming out? It's called Movie 43.
Yeah, it's a raunchy dark comedy, I think.
It's like a vignette type of thing.
That has 40 well-known actors in it. It just
Well,
seems like every time I look up a movie, they're in it.
Let's say, did you ever see Paris Yet to Me or whatever?
Jetem.
Sorry. Off the subject.
No, just a bunch of directors have like 10-minute segments. So I think that's
coffee and cigarettes type of thing. Cool.
I just want a quick shout out for The Talented Mr. Ripley, which Cate Blanchett is also in. That's fantastic.
I still haven't seen that one.
Matt Damon's great in that.
Oh man, you'd love it.
I know, it's on my list.
I think you'd like it a lot.
That was one of the first movies I watched on DVD that had, I think that movie has like 7 different endings. Doesn't that movie end like on a boat?
I don't
Or am I thinking of
know.
something else? But anyway,
It's been years since I've seen it.
I'm pretty sure that's the movie. Is Matt Damon and
Jude Law.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. That movie, the DVD has like 6 or 7 different endings.
Wow.
Only about 3 of them make sense, but it's still kind of interesting to watch something like that, especially right after you watch the movie. So anyway, I think Cate Blanchett moves on.
Great.
I'll throw this out there so they get the guys going. I think next time, Dustin Hoffman versus Robin Williams.
That's a good one since they both did that cross-dressing.
Yeah, there's your teaser.
Cross-dresser.
Also want to send a shout out to another Sioux Falls podcast, Sodak Humpcast. Check them out on Facebook. They're crazy, they swear, and they make me laugh. So, thank you, and have a good day.
Happy Hanukkah.
All right.